In this video, we will find where a function is increasing, decreasing, or constant. So I'll go ahead and start highlighting some of these parts. So increasing means going up from left to right. So if you look at this picture, we have to I'm going to go ahead and highlight every section that is going up from left to right. Starting right here, there is the first section. There is another section that is going up from left to right. Our job is to write these intervals in interval notation, okay? When you write interval notation, we are not using the y coordinates. So what you may want to do is, I'm going to go ahead and just white out these numbers on the y-axis. I'm not going to use these numbers on the y-axis, okay? Whenever you are writing the intervals of increasing and decreasing, use the numbers that are on the x-axis, okay? These numbers right there, okay? So I'm going to start by the one on the left. This interval right here, do you see that it starts going up, starting at -7, and it stops going up at -6, right? So the interval notation for that first piece of increasing interval is from -7 to -6. I can't remember if they ask you to use a union or a comma, but I'm going to go ahead and just use a, you know what, maybe I'll go with the comma this time. Let me know if they want you to use a union. I can go and change that real quick. All right, so that's the first one. What about the other one? I can see that it's increasing from -2 to +1. So the interval notation will be -2, +1. There's no other section where the graph is going up from left to right, so we found our answer. Now let's do the decreasing interval. I'm going to go ahead and find every section that is going down from left to right. And there's only one of them, right? That piece of graph right there is going down from left to right. And that piece of graph is going down from 1, and it stops going down at 3. So the interval notation is going to be 1, 3. All right, how about constant interval? Do we see any interval where a graph is flat from left to right? And we do. We have 2 of those sections. So let me see. I'll get my purple pen and I'll highlight this is constant interval and that is also constant interval. And to write those in interval notation, I just have to say that this one is flat from -6 to -2. So I'll do -6, -2. And this piece right there is constant from 3 to 5. So the answer is come from 3 to 5. And that's it, you guys. I think on Alex homework on 1.7, you will see 2 different ways this same idea is being asked. They may just label these intervals as interval A, B, C, D, and E and ask you where is it increasing. Then you just have to say A and C. Where is it decreasing? Then you have to say D. But I think I just, no, I don't want to open a message right now. But I wanted to show you this one where you have to write your own interval notation. And what you have to remember is that you are to use the x coordinates, not the y coordinates, okay? Let's try one more problem, okay? This one down here. Well, what I notice is that there's no flat interval, okay? There is no constant interval at all. So I'm going to have to say none because this graph is always going down, up, and down. Nowhere in this graph I have a flat line. So that's why I have to say none for constant. Let's go back to increasing. It's going up right there. It's going up right there. So I need to write interval notation for those 2 orange intervals. Okay, this one. Let me start with this one. Starts going up at -3, stops going up at -2. It was a short trip, but it went up a lot, I see. So the first interval is from -3 to -2. I may stick on the union symbol this time because I honestly cannot remember if Alex wants you to use a union or a comma. Okay, you'll know because you'll do the homework, right? All right, next one. This interval right here, it starts going up at 1 and it stops going up at 5. So when I write the interval, I will say 1, 5. All right, let's read all the interval where it is going down from left to right, decreasing. There is one. There is another one. Ooh, there's a third interval. So these 3 are the intervals where the graph is going down from left to right. So what we need to do is to read these intervals, okay? So the one on the left, all the way on the left, starts at what number? If it's hard for you to read, I'll drop down the vertical line like I do, straight to the x-axis. It stops going down at -5, and it starts going down at -5, and it stops going down at -3. So the first interval is going to be -5, -3, union. Okay, so that was the first green section. All right, let's read the second green section. Here it is, -2 to +1. So the second interval is -2, +1, union. And the very last one, all the way on the right, get rid of this pink highlights real quick. 5, it starts going down at 5, but the graph starts at 7. So the last decreasing interval is from 5 to 7. So just a review of interval notation, right? But make sure to use the x-coordinates. And I think I'm going to keep this video short so that I can come back and talk about local maxima and local minima in the second video.